Hello raving fans, this is Diane Cardano-Casacio with the July edition of the Hot Off the Press Market Report. And while summer's in full swing, and many of you are probably visiting the shore, enjoying a swim in the calm ocean, it seems we're about to head into a little bit of rough water due to projections for an upcoming recession. When will this happen, and what will be the impact? Well, a Wall Street Journal survey of 36 economists indicated that the economic expansion that began in the mid-2009 most likely will end in 2020 as the Federal Reserve raises interest rates to cool off an overheating economy. Now, a recession does not mean that we're going to have another housing crisis, though. While it's true that the last recession we had caused by a housing crisis in 2008, the recession itself was just a period of temporary economic decline. Now, homeowners have more equity now than they did at the height of the housing bubble, partly because of climbing prices and partly because people are staying in their house longer, which gives the property more time to appreciate. At the same time, we haven't seen owners borrowing as much money from their home equity as they did in the past, meaning people are not using their homes as ATM machines like they did in 2006 and 2007. So now let's talk quickly about home affordability. The Joint Center of Housing Studies at Harvard University recently put out the State of the Nation's Housing Report, and the big headlines that came off of that report were about housing affordability. Check out this next slide, which figures from the study. Here we can see that from 2012 to 2017, monthly homeowner costs went up. But even though homeowner costs have gone up over the last couple of years, monthly costs are still lower than they have been from 1987 all the way through 2008, with the exception of 1993. Let's look at this next slide to compare historic and current costs of renting versus owning. Historically, it took 25.8% of income for the median rent in this country. Today, that number has gone up to 28.8%, but when we look at the amount needed to afford a median home, historically, that number is 21%. Right now, it's 17.1%. So, is it more expensive to own a home today than it has been over the last couple of years? Yes, it is. But when we take a look at the historic numbers, that's not the case. And probably the easiest way to explain that is with this graph. So we've fallen in the last couple of years, and we've fallen from big numbers from 2009 to 2011. But we have to realize that those are the years when distressed properties dominate the market. Foreclosures and short sales were selling at anywhere from 20 to 50% discount. But if we go back to 1990 and we take a look at the green bar, which is the affordability index today, and remember the higher bar, the more affordable a home is, what we can see is that homes are more affordable today than they were from 1990 to 2008. So, now, where are prices going? Well, over the last 12 months, according to CoreLogic, values are up 6.9%, and they're forecasting over the next 12 months that these values are going to go up 5.3%. So check out this next slide where we've accounted for this roughly 5% increase in home prices and rising interest rates. Here we've taken a $250,000 home average mortgage, which is roughly the average mortgage of today's interest rates, 4.5%, and we calculate the payment with principal and interest. Then we looked at the projections of where interest rates at home prices are going to be in 12 months, and what we can see in those numbers change pretty dramatically. The cost of the house goes up, and so does interest rate, and that means the mortgage payment goes up. If you compute that annually, we're talking about an extra $1,800 out of the buyer's pockets over a 30-year mortgage. That number hits $54,788. So waiting to purchase a home is costing would-be buyers money every day, and that additional monthly expense over 30 years could be rather dramatic. What's interesting about this is many homeowners who would ordinarily want to move to a different home are making this decision to stay put and improve or repair the home they already have. In fact, 84% of homeowners surveyed said they have no plans to sell their current primary residence within the next 12 months, and half of the homeowners are considering a remodel, despite the fact that nearly 2/3 would actually prefer to purchase a new home that meets their needs. However, taking equity out of your home and putting it into remodeling could actually lower the price of your house, depending upon what changes you make. So consider when it makes sense to find a home to move to instead of damaging the equity you built in your current home. Because the economy works in cycles, we're going to go through some rough waters, so let's make sure you're making the right decisions to get the equity you have in your home out. If you're thinking of putting your property on the market in the next 3 months to 3 years, come to our next free home seller seminar on Saturday, October 13th at the Port Washington Hilton Garden. Just go to homesharkseminar.com. That's homesharkseminar.com for more information. Thanks guys for coming to visit my blog this month, and I hope that you have a great rest of the month of July. Stay cool.